Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Meet the Presswoods. I'm Alexa Presswood, and for those of you that are new here, welcome to our channel. For those of you that are old, that are returning subscribers, you can tell that I changed my background here, and I decided to take one of my shelves from downstairs and put all my Disney stuff up in my shelf here. So I do have Woody and Buzz, and I do have my Winnie the Pooh and Elsa, and I have Steamboat Willie up here as well. So as you guys can tell by the intro, or by the thumbnail, that this is going to be a video about Toy Story. So I really do love Toy Story. Like, I do have today the Pizza Planet shirt. So if you don't like spoilers, I would suggest that you guys skip this video, but if you don't mind, if you really want to see Toy Story, really want to know what I think about it, then you can certainly watch it. Alright, so I definitely do want to say that there are things that I really loved about Toy Story, and I really didn't like about this one, and I am a huge Toy Story fan. Like, I've watched the first one when I was like 4 years old, and my husband has watched it too as well. Toy Story is like his favorite Disney movie. So like I've actually caught him like watching Toy Story before. And he's not that much of a Disney fan like I am. But anyways, so let's get into this review. So I'm gonna start off with the stuff that I really liked about it. I really loved the characters and the new characters, and the animation of this film I thought was like really beautiful. Like, I at some points when I was looking at it, like watching the movie, I was like, this kind of looks lifelike. And I thought that just everything about it, like the colors were so very vibrant, and I really love how they kind of made it like almost lifelike. Now, I'm also going to talk about how another pro that I loved is how they brought in new characters as well as old characters. I really did love how they brought back Bo Peep and how they told her story of why she left, and they also brought back in for a scene, they brought back Andy, his mother, and Molly as well, for the backstory of Bo Peep. So I thought that when they did that, that was really well thought out, and they really did a good job in telling that part of her story. Another thing that I loved about Bo Peep was how they also brought her back in with more of like a female empowerment of wanting to go out on her own instead of being placed with another family. Even though she did go to another family, that family also ended up giving her up and putting her into an antique store. And I really loved how the way that they portrayed her, as well as having that female empowerment and leaving that antique store and going out and finding other kids to play with. And I really did like how they kind of reintroduced Woody and Bo Peep, because Woody and Bo Peep were together since the first film, and when she wasn't in the second and third films, I was kind of like, wait, what happened to her? What happened to Bo Peep? So I think that they really did a good job of telling the story of how Molly didn't want her anymore, and they gave her to another family. And they also really show the emotional side of Woody, and how it was hard for him to deal with her moving on. And I also really do like how they reintroduced Woody and Bo Peep. Like, I thought that was really well thought out. So another thing that I really liked about this movie was the new characters. I thought that the new characters that were with Woody, Buzz, and the gang were like the good guys were really funny. I really love them. I really do. Like, and if this is going to be Toy Story's last movie, like, I'd be kind of bummed to like not see their characters develop. I would have to say, because they were really funny, and a part of me thinks that this whole movie, it is really sad. It did make me laugh and cry, but to bring in the new characters like that, I thought that was really, really clever of them, of how they introduced them at the carnival and them being so funny, and you know, they kind of bring in this comedic attitude towards the film, and I think that how they did that was really interesting and funny. But I do also have to say that the new characters that were the evil characters, Gabby and her gang, I also thought that they did a really good job of explaining her story and how she came out of the box defective without a voice box, and they really did a really good job of telling how she wasn't wanted by any child, and all she wanted was a child to be with. And I think that they also, like, you also feel bad for this character, because when she gets to the point where she finally does have the chance to have a child after she takes Woody's voice box and puts it in herself, and you really do see how she gets neglected by the child that she really wants to be with. But then there is a happy ending to her story of how there's another child that she sees is feeling neglected, and she goes up to that child, and that child like automatically attaches to her and loves her. So even though you don't feel anything for this character at first, because they're just so mean to Woody and Bo Peep, you do feel something for them once you get to know her story towards the end, when you see her being rejected. Like, you do feel those emotions, and I think they really did a good job with Gabby as well. Now, I also will say that even though I was really sad at the end when Woody decided to stay with Bo Peep instead of going back with with Buzz and the gang, back with Bonnie, I will say they did a really good job of portraying that story. Now, I don't think that they will ever bring back Toy Story. Like, I don't think that they can, and if they did, I definitely would go and watch it and see how they would bring back Woody and Buzz together. But I will have to say that I did almost cry at that part. But even though I think that they should have just let Bo Peep and Woody be together with Buzz and the gang, I do kind of understand why they decided to separate, because I think that it made it seem like this is gonna be the end for real this time, because the last time, even though I was crying when Andy gave up those toys, like, I was upset. But I do think that they did a really good job with separating Woody and Buzz. I think that was they did that really, really well. That was definitely a pro on my part of it. So the next thing I'm gonna get into is the cons, and there's really like one con for me that I really have throughout the film. Even though I actually, like, it was a con for me up until halfway, and then up until halfway I kind of understood, okay, this is why they're doing it. And it was the character of Buzz here. I feel like they really just dumbed him down, honestly, in this film. Like, I understand it was for the comedic side of it, but I feel like there should have been more character development than him just pushing a button, even though it was kind of funny. I like he kept on pushing his button on his chest to see what else he should do, but it was kind of funny. Like, I started laughing at it halfway through the film. I did think that they did make his character funny, because at the end it is like heartbreaking. So I think that they did that to have his character as a comedic relief. But I've got to say, I did not like, even though I feel that way, like, I understand it, because at the end he does say to Woody, you know, you need to go and stay with Bo Peep, because I can tell that you really honestly have missed her. So I think that even though they dumbed him down, I do understand why. I just kind of would have liked to see more character development than him just pushing a button. But he was honestly funny too. So anyways, overall, I really did love Toy Story, this new movie. I really do, but it would be really interesting to see how they bring back the gang, if they decide to have Woody and Buzz both in a new movie, if they decide to have another Toy Story. I would definitely go and watch it, but at this point I don't see how they would make another movie when they've already established them being separated, unless they decide to go with one or the other. I don't know how they would bring them back, but all I know is that I would definitely go see another Toy Story, because I love Toy Story. I did love how they ended up wrapping up their storylines. And I've got to say, like, I was really, honestly, really wanting Woody to go back with Buzz and the gang, or at least have all the new characters, even Bo Peep, go back with Woody, with Buzz and Woody to Bonnie. I really would have honestly liked that more than what happened now, but anyway, so that is my review of the new Toy Story. And if you guys would like to for me to do more reviews, please comment down below. And I also want to hear what you guys think of this new movie, if you have seen it, or if not. Please comment down below, and also please like, share, and subscribe to both our Instagram and our YouTube channel. So alright, that is it for me, and I will see you guys later. Bye!